Sat Sri Akal, everyone. I just read a quote somewhere that an artist fears if someone couldn't understand their work. But what an artist fears even more is that if everyone understands the him or the artist. Why does this happen? Or is it a reality or not? That's what I want to discuss with you. I have myself tried to create some art, create some poetry, some stories at some time, and I have experienced this. This happens with every artist who is very much committed to the art or who loves the art by some passion. This happens because we, the normal people, we experience something and then we complain about it, we cry about it, we just want to move on from them. Artists, a true artist, live in that thing. Because one of the main things of an artist, the main desires of an artist is to express perfectly. This is one of the main things what an artist wants to do. His orgasmic pleasure exists in this thing that he can express himself perfectly. So an artist has to go deep into very core of emotions, very core of depression, very core of psychoness, in core of very anything. That is why many artists turn mad. One of the example is our great philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche. The man has written such a penetrating work of literature, and then he went mad at the end of his life. Why? Because these people, these artists, Fyodor Dostoevsky is an example. These people go to the very core of all the emotions, very core of sorrow, very core of pleasure, very core of everything. And this thing makes their life seemingly very miserable. If we are to observe their life would seem very miserable, just an upside down of their work. The amount of pleasure, the amount of satisfaction, the amount of contentment we experience when we see their literature, their life is just an upside down of that, just an opposite of that. That is why an artist fears, because he also has an ego. An artist has a very big ego that the ones who are not able to express themselves take inspiration, borrow expressions from that artist. Artist is the originator of their language. Therefore, an artist has an ego also. Therefore, he don't want people to understand him. If they understand his work, he is very happy. But he fears that no one should understand me, because inside him, a full volcano of miserableness exists. That is why many great artists are very much satisfied when they're on their own, when they're left alone. They love to be left alone because then they can be true in their expressions. They can be true to themselves. In the presence of someone else, or someone who they consider as someone else, they can't express themselves or they can't be themselves. And that becomes another pressure on themselves. Therefore, then an artist fears that people shouldn't understand him, because his miserableness is very much greater than all the normal people who just take expressions from his work. Therefore, that is why when we see into the lives of these artists, we see that it is not very nice. It is very much miserable, very much in mess. I hope I am able to give you some good answer or some good explanation of this thing. I believe we'll meet you in the next video. Thank you.